This week on the World on Board, Jeremy Bayou and his IMOCA 60 foiler, the RORC IRC Nationals Fast 40 class. Disaster in the 2006 Volvo Ocean Race, Movistar sinks. Ken Reed on how Comanche was built. The race to Alaska explained. The M32's foiling in Scandinavia, day 2. The Spirit of Hungary, Vendee Globe preparations. On board Sir Keith Mills Ker 40, Invictus. And Kiel week, days 3 and 7. Eleven teams from the Fast 40 Plus class competed in round 2 of the Fast 40 Plus racing circuit as part of the RORC IRC National Championships, with 8 highly contested races over 3 days in the Solent. With its double tides, sandbanks, channels and numerous land effects, the Solent is a complex place to sail. The highly changeable weather scenario, including thunder and lightning, added another dimension to the regatta. However, in the lightweight Fast 40 Plus class, speed is always king. Peter Martin's Car King 40 Mark III girls on film stayed fast and smart to come out on top for the second time of the season. Sir Keith Mills Ker 40 Plus Invictus made the podium in 6 races, winning 2 of them to claim second place, and third was Bill Coates in Les Entrevues. 3 of the Fast 40 Plus race circuit will take place during Cows Week from the 6th to the 12th of August. However, most of the fleet will be in action in the Round the Island race next weekend.
We had a really good leg into Annapolis, Baltimore. We finished second, and then in the leg to New York, everything was actually fine as well. There was a lot of breeze, but the boat held okay. And then of course that leg was just crucial for the standings, because we basically had to beat the boat that was leading to still have a chance of winning the race. So we just knew that leg is going to be really crucial for us. I was at that stage on deck together with my watch, and it was beautiful sailing conditions because we had really like big swells, 25-30 knots, and we were actually jib reaching, so relatively easy, not that much power on the boat, and all of a sudden just a big bang from downstairs. But that was a serious bang. I came down and I straight away saw this is probably game over, because straight away the water gushing inside, and especially the area where it was from. The bearings where the keel is swinging from left to right had broken away from the structure. So basically the keel was hanging loose in the boat. Now we can't win the leg anymore, that's the first thing. You can't win the leg, you can't win the race. But I very quickly knew this is going to be a major, and we just had to see if we actually get this boat back into the harbour. You try to keep going because it's still a yard race. You want to finish, of course, around the world race. But then it's balancing off. Okay, if we keep going and we're not surviving, or the keel breaks away, the boat will just flip over and it will turn upside down. What are the risks that we lose lives? And with the situation, with the weather, what was coming up, I think that risk was way too high. We called the Volvo organization, we called another competitor to be standby on us, and very quickly another competitor, ABN, came towards us and was basically sailing alongside of us. So there was a big storm coming up. 50-55 knots of breeze, maybe even more with huge waves. So I just said, okay, we're going to abandon ship. It's never, of course, an easy decision, but like when I took the decision, I was happy, and I spoke with all the guys about it as well. I told them the cons and the pros, and everybody understood that was the only smart thing to do. That, of course, at that stage was a tough decision during the race. That's always one of these things, because, what I said, the drive of winning and racing is there, and as well the responsibilities to your sponsors as well. But I think the most important thing, of course, is the safety is crucial, because that's the only thing actually what counts. Everybody has to come alive back, and then for the rest, the race is just a race. You can do another race maybe 4 years later. So that's one of these things you very quickly forget, and that's, you have to leave the past behind you, and then you have to go on, and that's of course, that's just one of these things. And if you do another Volvo or not, that's always, of course, you have to make decisions on that. And I've come back since then, and because I just love the race.
The first time I saw Comanche's hull, I remember kind of peering over the apron down into this shed. And I remember looking down and just going, oh my God, what have we done? It's massive. This is part aircraft carrier. My name is Ken Reed. I'm the skipper of the boat. My job is to hire all the best guys I possibly can and create something like this. Jim Clark had been talking about this for a while. He got caught up in it, and it was all of a sudden all of his buddies were egging him on to build a 100-footer, and he obliged. His operation has to fulfill his very competitive ambitions, and trust me, he is as competitive as any person I've ever been around in my entire life, as is his wife Christy, by the way. The two of them combined, there's no messing around. If you do it right. The build team that we assembled and who really ran the build up at Hodgson are the best of the best. The shapes and sizes and tolerances that these builders are building to now is nothing shy of unbelievable. Tim Hodgson and the whole Hodgson team, they lengthened buildings, they built ovens, they bought ovens. They wanted to look not just at this project, but they wanted to look at carbon fiber manufacturing well into the future. The back of the boat is 25 feet wide. It's just stability, purely stability. The more stability you get from the hull form, the less you have to do as far as weight in the keel, so lighter boat. Secondly is mass placement. Design services at North Sails, they started running drive force coefficient. So the mass would start, let's say, just forward of 50%, which is way up here. And then he put it back a meter, and he came back to us, and to paraphrase, it's better. Put it back a meter, it's better. Put it back a meter, it's better. In essence, he kept going until it started getting slower. This is more of a traditional multi-hull position than it is a mono-hull position. Every sail here is carbon fiber. Everything you see above the deck is carbon fiber. It's what carbon fiber allows you to do, and it's nothing shy of spectacular. The adrenaline rush, there's nothing like it. You know, goggles on, blasted with water, guys holding on. You get down below and it's like Armageddon. The slamming and the sounds down below it is a completely different animal. It's far more like a race car than you would ever imagine. It's literally at high speeds, 2 fingers and a tiny little movement, and you can really make the boat respond. What this thing can do in front of eyeballs on Sydney Harbor, hopefully on Boxing Day. That tells a story that lasts forever, and hopefully that attracts more people to our sport.
The Race to Alaska is a unique 750-mile marathon open to all forms of non-motorised craft. Entrants can have no support of any type. It's like the Iditarod, but with a boat. Avoid drowning, freighters, killer whales, grizzly bears, and the winner gets $10,000. A set of steak knives awaits the runner-up. The race from Port Townsend, Washington to Ketchikan in Alaska survived its inaugural edition in 2015. Testing fate, it occurs again this month.
With a tight course and a lot of boats, it certainly puts a lot of pressure on.
We have a lot of friends, family and sponsors here, and feels really good to be home here in Gothenburg to race in front of all our fans.
And look at the big duck there from Matthias Ram on port. The hull comes up, almost over. Matthias Ram now getting rolled. Where did Treefort come from? It's amazing river racing here inside the city of Gothenburg. But look at Ian Williams, JC Pindar, that light blue boat, crushing in inside. I don't know where they got that puff. Coming around here close to us on port, Matthias Ram, but look at Gishard Hans Wallin gets inside. He's allowed to take that room, just enough room, and he does. Absolute chaos on the shores of Gothenburg.
We had a lot of battles today. It was really tight racing with all 10 teams. At the end of the day, we're pretty happy, even though the result doesn't show that.
It was one of those days we got two great starts. I mean, you had to fight for every position, and it was really tough. We had a little incident with Ian. We'd actually had a couple more earlier in the race.
Bam, contact guys.
We got jammed inside him. He hit us. He probably didn't need to hit us. It was a bit unnecessary, but at the end of the day, the blood's flowing, and he really wants to beat us. It was good fun though, really good fun.
Today we got a 4th and a 5th, I think, so that's our best so far in the series, and of course tomorrow we will try to go for the bullet.
As they make the turn at gate number 3, look at the acceleration and a big dip. Goodness! And a man goes over the side.
Skipper Nando Farr is preparing for his private transatlantic training from La Sable d'Olonne in France to the USA with his new renamed IMOCA 60 racing boat, Spirit of Hungary. Two crew members left the Vendee Globe village on the 17th of June. Nanda is going to sail back from Newport as his solo Transat. Here we see his preparations for the transatlantic. The Fast 40 Plus class permits guests to sail on board. Although not allowed to take part in racing, Louis Habib of RORC was permitted to sit at the back of the bus and watch the action on board Sir Keith Mills Ker 40 Plus Invictus. Torrential rain, thunder and lightning caused huge disruption to the second round of the Fast 40 Plus circuit being held on the RORC IRC National Championships on the Solent. The wind speed and direction was in turmoil for most of the day and accompanied by torrential rain.
Getting up early? Well, the early bird catches the worm, as they say. Normally the weather conditions are not always so great in Kiel. However, not so this year, with a great sunrise over the Kiel fjord and with the wind peaking at 22 knots at times, great conditions for exciting races. Fierce competition in the Musto performance skiff races was the order of the day. With gusty winds, some of the sailors capsized into the Baltic Sea. There's a lot of mental pressure and real physical work for the guys out on the race course. And at the end of the day, the former European champion Fridtjof Schwert sailed the best. Visitors can try sailing in the Audi sailing experience. With good sailors as skippers, even first-timers can have a go. But beware, there's no time to sit back and relax on the boat. You really definitely have to help out. A great sunshine finale at the Kieler Woche and Super Sunday medal race day, every point counts. The 49er FX girls were the first on the TV course and they were quickest to celebrate a home win. It was champagne all the way for Tina Lutz and Susanna Burke. The men were more chilled. Perhaps that's because Peter Burling and Blair Tuke in the 49er have won 27 regattas now back to back since winning silver in London 2012. Maybe they're saving the champagne moment for Rio. At the 470 Junior Worlds, the titles were up for grabs today. For the girls, the Spanish crew, Silvia Mas and Paula Barcello, take home the title. Keiju Okada and Naoya Kamura from Japan were really happy that they won after a very difficult last race. And for the lasered standard class, well, Philip Bull is Germany's hopeful at the Olympic Games in Rio, and he used Kieler Woche as the last dress rehearsal before Rio. Maybe his victory in Kiel will help him on his way to win in Rio.